Okay, I finally got my Pip-Boy working. Let's see if we can get going.
What's green?
Right.
Is it gonna even show up?
No. Hey.
Oh, there it goes.
It shows up. It won't show up on the green screen.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
because
not.
it's green.
And the glare probably.
So and the glare and the thing. But yeah, this is really cool. The only thing is the crappy thing here that falls apart all the time.
What can you do with it?
Kind of poorly designed, and it's only for super skinny people. Like my wrist is the skinniest wrist ever, and it's tight as fuck.
It's
I'm not
turning blue.
even sure it would fit on Alex.
I don't want to break it and be
But,
responsible.
Yeah,
No.
so that's cool. Totally green, so totally not showing up. But finally get to use this thing. Wow.
I mean, it's
That's
cool.
That is legit. It's a legit Pip-Boy. I got it from, what was it, like IGN store. Because it was like selling out other places. I didn't even know IGN had a store.
I don't want that. I want the watch from GoldenEye N64.
This is unacceptable.
And I've
though.
seen one online, but they're crappy. But I want like a real one.
Yeah.
Again, played the movie. Never saw them. Or played the game.
It's not a
You've never seen the
touch
movie.
screen.
Yeah, I know you're the worst.
Don't know how.
It's on my list.
I'd have to look at the instructions.
Who needs instructions?
All right. Anyways, welcome to our review of Fallout Season 2, Episode 5. This one is called The Wrangler. And as a fan of the video games and of good adaptations, I'm eating good because we have another good episode. This one definitely moves the story forward, has tons of reveals in it, and really kind of narrows where we're going and, shows or teases at hidden forces behind the scenes that we've been speculating on throughout the season. So I thought it was really good. Now, I will say I was a little disappointed. We start right where we left off from the last cliffhanger, which was Deathclaws are coming. I showed the Deathclaws coming at you. Nope. Tease, they actually increased the stakes. 3 Deathclaws. It's like, holy shit. 3 of them, you're fucked. Unless you got the fat boy and unless you've got...
And you're far enough away.
Yeah, you can get all the...
I don't think that little wall would have contained them, though.
Exactly, that's what I was
a magic
thinking.
wall.
So,
Yeah,
video
but
game
there's 3 of them. He just bursted through this fucking wall, breaking all the bricks and everything. It's like, come on.
This little piece of crap wall is where they slide under and get away from the Deathclaws. So the intro, a little disappointed that we don't get the Deathclaw confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure they're saving that for the climactic ending, right? Probably
the armor or something.
The armor versus a Deathclaw, as we did in Fallout 4 and other Fallouts. So, yeah. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought primarily when it did the flashback to the old days, I thought, oh, this is going to be a flashback episode. We're just going to get a lot of this stuff, his wife stuff, this stuff. But no, eventually it does come back to the current time, and I found it fascinating. And I enjoyed it, and I thought a lot of stuff got done. Maybe one of the better episodes so far, though I hope that there are some good ones coming as well. Now, I will say there's a little bit of convenience coming in. A little bit of chance encounters that are just like all happening all at once. Like, hey, do you remember this character? This character's back. We just so happen to walk in the same place. And hey, do you remember this character? And oh, he just gets captured by Hank and he's doing it. So, they're trying to bring characters that have already been in the series from previous episodes or season 1. And I don't really like it when they do that kind of convenient stuff. It makes the world feel a little less believable, and I like to keep it realistic. But other than that, we have a lot of Easter eggs. We have a mention of the FEV, so I'm so happy to see this. This is really staying true to the lore, and including it here, the forced evolutionary virus. I'm excited to see how this factors in. In the last episode, by the way, you guys pointed out, a few hardcore Fallout fans pointed out the fact that I said that, hey, this is impossible. We can't have a Deathclaw pre-war, right? Well, no, apparently, I thought that the Deathclaws, from playing the games, I didn't do the side quests, because you can do the side quest where you go in a vault and then look at one of the computer monitors and do some research that it might have been an experiment pre-war and used militarily. I thought it was like an evolved lizard or something. But no, that makes total sense that it was a weapon and existed pre-war. And in fact, I think it's teased in the games that maybe, they didn't give an exact answer, but maybe an Enclave experiment. which I think from this episode they're teasing this other faction, this other shadowy faction. They show off. We finally get our confrontation with House and Cooper in Las Vegas at the top of the tower. And it's revealed that, no, he is not the guy that dropped the bombs. Even though he had the plan to save Vegas and keep it relatively intact, he wasn't the one that did it. He also doesn't think that the boneheads and share stockholders or whatever did it at Vault-Tec. He thinks somebody else did it. And so that we'll talk about, who we think that is. But, man, I enjoyed the episode. The sets are amazing. The immersion, the props, the Easter eggs for fans of the game. This is great. This is how it's done, and so I'm happy that Amazon is getting at least one of their shows right, or licensed shows right, and we'll see how it wraps up. But it's starting to come into focus now. I'm enjoying the story, and yeah, I see. There was online reactions, like people like I randomly come across, the Fallout. I hate Fallout Season 2. I'm like, well, okay, why? Tell me why. And they're the great cons. They made the cons all shitty because they're just the people that they shoot at the beginning. It's like, yeah, but like, look, this isn't Fallout New Vegas. We're not playing the Fallout New Vegas game while we're watching the series. This is later on, so different factions move in and out and things like that.
The cons are shitty, the Legion's shitty, the Brothers of Steel are shitty, the Vault people are shitty. Everyone in this TV show, as far as like organizations, are incompetent bozos.
It does seem that the great cons have. I think they dropped the line in this episode. Maybe they've moved back to California, or they moved, and so these are shells of their former selves that are populating this particular area. Okay. Well, let's see what the boys think of this particular episode. What did you think?
Money well spent in this fucking series. I just love the production of this. I love the actors. They're doing a great job. The main plot, I'm really digging. But, again, the virus and stuff, like, it kind of, I don't know. I'm not really that interested in the
virus,
Vault and everything that's going on.
Vultures.
Yes, we just realized his name.
We had to look up his name, Norm.
Because we kept forgetting, and we've known him for
What is Lucy's brother's name? Norm.
Yeah,
it's been a season and a half. We don't care.
Yeah, so that part was fine, but it kind of just slows down for me. But I'm really enjoying the backflashes with Howard and House and what's going on with that stuff, and Lucy, and we finally get the device firing up. That's pretty interesting. See where it happens from there. The main stuff I love. Yeah, it's part of the story, but I'm not that invested as opposed to the main.
I think when it went to the FEV and the forced evolutionary virus, I think I'm now interested in it. Now I did find it annoying. It's like, oh shit, are we gonna do like a love story here between this chick, the Claudia, the new girl?
Yeah,
it feels like
you're
that.
Not crazy like
that
the
kind
other
of drama.
ones.
They're like, oh shit, women watch this show too. Let's try to throw something in here for, I don't know, relationship wise. Nobody's watching the show for that. Cut it out, right? But if they bring in the forced evolutionary virus in an interesting way, and tie it into what Hank is doing, or what the original plan for the Vault 31, 32, and 33 is, I've got a theory there that, you have these managers, right? And if it has to do with the FEV turns people into the super mutants.
Yeah.
So are they maybe going to make super managers?
No.
They're going to turn all those Vultures into super mutants.
You wouldn't put Bud and because Bud is so low on the corporate ladder that like you don't put him important. He's not in charge of the FEV. He can't be. I would be pissed if Buds was in charge of the FEV. You have to put like competent upper manager people, not the low.
Well, I wouldn't say in charge of the FEV. I would say that experimenting with the FEV. You can still have somebody else in charge of it, but the purpose of the Vaults 31, 32, and 33 is to experiment with FEV.
See,
But
But Bud is still the overseer of all 3 vaults, right? Like he's
Yeah.
still the person. It's like I would like to think that
you
it's
wouldn't
not
think
Bud.
that Bud would be in charge of the FEV. Okay.
I would hope, but like who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we're probably next episode we're probably gonna go back to I don't even know the guy's name who set up the group meeting because we need a
Oh
conclusion.
no, the incest group.
We need a conclusion.
Done with that. Don't need any of that.
But we gotta go back.
We gotta go back though.
Yeah.
That's kind of the stuff that I was worried about as well.
Yeah. I agree with both of you guys that there's some stuff that works really well. Right now, the opening scene was massively disappointing.
Yeah.
But this could be when the finale comes out, we could be like, oh, it's just a tease. It's fine. As long as we get a really major Deathclaw interaction that's satisfying, then I don't mind a tease.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this second, it's like, oh, I would have liked to see the Deathclaws at least do something cool other than
Push the fence open.
Yeah, put fingernails through an old car. So it's like the intro was really disappointing. I loved the scene where Lucy walks into a store and then she's like figuring out that this isn't the store owner and she's finally stealing stuff.
Did you notice that she looked at her caps and then she saw the open door? It's like, this is the video game.
Yeah.
This is what we all do.
Yep.
We're like, all right, let's go steal. But you don't want to steal directly, so you go in through the back door and you start stealing shit. Video game. Perfect.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that part. I mean, the flashbacks with Coop also really interesting. Still don't give a shit about the vaults. Don't give a shit about Norm. I personally don't think that we're going to explore any FEV stuff with them. I think that was a tease, like it's an Easter egg,
red herring,
like an Easter egg type thing, where it's like, oh, cool, there's some really cool stuff. But I think that they've destroyed that terminal, and we're just going to move on. And then, like, this whole weird tension is like, oh, we don't know if Norm's dead. It's like, we would not have wasted a year and a fucking half with this useless character and useless side quest for him to be dead.
Yeah,
he's not dead on the floor.
Come on, Alex. You'd have to be stupid to think Norm's dead.
but
the show shows you that he gasps and he wakes back up.
Yeah, but the problem is we know he's not dead, so this whole thing is still a giant waste of time. Like, we haven't done anything with Norm. I don't care about Norm. I don't care about any of these fucking people.
Ronnie or whatever is going to leave his fate up to, he's probably going to put him on trial or whatever in front of the
I thought they were going to do the thing where she comes back with a bottle of something and crashes him over the head.
That's what I was waiting for.
And then, it's like
She saves him.
Yeah, the
because
trope.
she's the new boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I was waiting for. I was like, is she coming now? Nope. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see. So it's like I don't find any of that stuff particularly interesting other than the Easter egg. But I personally think it's just an Easter egg for now. But I mean, I love the town and I love Old Vegas and like all of the sets. So we got some really interesting reveals in this episode.
11 out of 10 with that stuff.
Who House is and like there's fake House and real House. They're not brothers like we
Finally
thought.
revealed, yeah. He's just a paid actor. Hey, it's a gig, he says, so it's not Anthony. Now, I probably would have preferred to be Anthony or something like that, but that's some deep lore shit. That's the fans that came up with that. Yeah. And I bet you the showrunners are like, oh, fuck, that was good. We could have done that. But okay, you got us, So, yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. So Justin Theroux's great. And so, like, him and Goggins and all these people that were given an opportunity. Chicken Fucker being back was super interesting. Dude is, it's like, I don't love the character, but he's just immediately interesting. And like when he's skipping down the highway and he's like picking flowers and he's just nuts. And he has like a
roach.
Like, oh, God.
Yeah, the rad roach. And so it's just like that is like
him.
Fallout stuff where there's just absolutely crazy people in there.
They
So
find a way to put in a little bit of humor.
Yeah.
Even if it, may not be as funny as there's other moments, but I think the moments with him work. He's allowed to be funny in it.
Yeah, he's ridiculous in like the Fallout kind of way, and I always thought that was appropriate. So yeah, other than the fact that Norm's storyline I know it's going somewhere, so the people are like, well, it's going to go somewhere. It's like, I know, we're just not there yet. I feel like a kid who's been on a year and a half long road trip, and we're not fucking there yet. And with that storyline, it's like there's not even whispers of it getting interesting yet. So it's like that's all I'm waiting for is for it to get interesting.
Okay, are the Deathclaws blind? I'm wondering if the Deathclaws are blind.
I was just thinking maybe
they go off
just
the
can't.
sound. But that
They
would
can't
be
see that
if they
far.
are blind. That'd be a horrible
Not in
weapon.
my
Why would you
playthrough.
make a weapon with a Deathclaw? Right.
He saw
it's
me
like-
everywhere. What the fuck?
Exactly. So I don't know. You type it in the
Poor
comments
vision.
down below.
Maybe they just have poor
They
vision.
just have poor
All
vision. But
three of
why
them?
would you create a super fucking soldier thing
Well, the radiation made them have to. I don't know.
But Dog Meat finds a way out, and so they're able to get under there. But yeah, ultimately, great reveals, interesting intrigue, the teasing at another faction who we've actually already seen in the show. The Enclave has already been featured in the show, where they originally steal the Cold Fusion
where
from.
The scientist runs past all of the guns, and they can't take down a single non-athletic man who's running away, and
he's agile.
I just want I know people are like, I like it. I like that everyone's incompetent bozos. It's like, I'd like them to be a little less incompetent bozos.
Okay, well, then they gun down the scientist right there as he's running away, and then the story.
Or you just
have
the scientist be smart. You have the scientist be smart and escape in a smart way, other than running from bullets.
Yeah.
Like you can do another thing.
You can. You definitely can. That was the scene where the gun comes up and starts firing, and the gun wasn't hitting anything. Is that what that was? Man, it's been a while since season 1, episode 1.
Yeah.
But okay, let's go ahead and give final verdicts to Fallout Season 2, Episode 5, called The Wrangler. Oh, well, wait. We forgot another really key scene here. So we got that subplot in there between the Vaulters. We got the subplot with what's going on with Hank. But it all ties together, and a little bit of Cooper. But eventually, let's talk about Lucy now. So, she does the video game thing. She gets some Addictol to get rid of her addiction. She's throwing up.
She's like, oh, okay.
More jokes.
I feel better now.
And they meet back up eventually at the hotel room. But it is shown that our guy here, our chicken fucker, essentially, is able to withstand the mind control where nobody else has. Why do you think this is?
Probably a tweak of his brain damage from him being a doctor, and then Hank also improving the thing, so it's just like a magic alignment.
I just thought it was Hank messing with it because he's done trial after trial after trial.
And the dude is I think what it was implying is kind of out of test subjects, or the subjects within the vault aren't working, so he's grabbing people from outside the vault. Now, this could be very surface level and very simple, where it's anybody exposed to the radiation out there can withstand it, or it could go a little more deep lore, and if they're factoring in the FEV, is that maybe this particular guy is infected with FEV, and if you have FEV in you, then you can withstand it. So multiple ways they could do that, but I thought it was cool that he uses him as the messenger. He's all dressed up nice. He's now in business attire, combed hair and everything.
Well, I thought the first one was he still had some radiation, didn't he? The one who blew up Sandy.
We don't know. Like, he could have been someone that Hank just snatched from like the waste, or it could have been someone like I don't think we know who that guy is.
It would have been nice to see if the show's like, is this the first person he snatched from the wasteland? Is this the 7th person he snatched from the wasteland? Because for it to just work on the first one, and for it to be the character that we met earlier, and for him to just so happen to be walking in, it's a little bit of that convenience stuff that I'm talking and that writing. But sometimes you have to allow for that stuff to happen if you want to use some of your principal characters. But anyway, so eventually he visits the hotel, and he's actually there as a representative of Hank, and he makes a proposition for the cowboy, Coop, to essentially take his daughter back to her vault. And he says, I got a plan, Sugar Bomb. I need you to get back in there and let this thing play out, and then I can come get you later.
It threatens the ghoul's family.
Yep. Like, it is revealed. So this ghoul, his main goal, where's my family? It's revealed that he knows where his family is. It's in one of the management vaults, is what he thinks. He's been to a management vault in Oregon. He's been to a management vault in California, but didn't know about a management vault in Las Vegas. And so Hank definitely plays on this. It's actually shown in the show.
His daughter,
that
right?
His daughter's vault is there. It's a smaller little pod.
Janie.
Janie, exactly. And so it's like, well, Is he telling the truth? Now, if you notice, the pond looked empty to me. I don't know if this.
I don't know if
means-
it was just kind of like because it was
Right.
frozen.
Is
or
it frozen?
something.
Is she really in there? I think they're keeping that hidden so they could do a reveal later. So he could be manipulating him. What do you guys think? Do you think he's manipulating him, saying, "Look, he doesn't actually have his daughter and his wife, but he's telling him to do stuff to get him what he wants to do," or does he actually have?
I think
his
he
daughter
knows
and wife?
he's got the daughter because we didn't really see anything about the wife. I don't know.
I think he knows where the wife is just because of who. I mean, it was like the assistant where so he could just be playing him and like, hey.
Right, they have definitely ties. We do see Hank as a younger go-getter when they go to Las Vegas and with him and his wife, and
He
he's
meets
got
up with the ghoul.
he's rising in the ranks essentially and becoming a more important person and being ambitious. But yeah, so I would like. I would like for him to have somebody. I would like for it to either be his daughter or both or just the wife. I don't want it to be a feint, a lie where, yeah, this is where they were, but eventually they went off into their own, so they're in a different area of the wasteland, or who knows where they're at.
What I'm thinking is probably is just a daughter because like this one we end with we need to talk and maybe something happened there and then
Yeah.
he just more like
Do you think that they were teasing a little bit at maybe Cooper being a part of who drops the bomb? Like, are they trying to open it up? Like, they don't want to spell it out for their audience. They're like, oh, there's another organization that's into this or somebody else factors into this. They're trying to say that your family is important to this. In fact, because all this thing went down, the date of the bombs was his daughter's
started it
birthday,
earlier.
and then you started 1 month earlier now. So I think the show's trying to imply that Cooper is a part of this, and then he's riding the bomb, getting drunk and stuff. So are they trying to get the general audience to believe, wait, did Cooper drop the bomb?
Well, he could be responsible. Like,
did
if he,
Cooper, go along with it or what?
No, he just says like, I'm going to divorce you because you're going to drop the bomb, and she wasn't going to drop the bomb in the first place, but now she's like, fuck it, I'm, divorce is stressful.
But this is
fuck everybody.
This is a great way to end the episode. We need to talk. Doesn't end right there. I thought that's where it was going to end, but because this could go either way. He basically tells her, "Hey, I know gonna
everything.
end the
I know
world,"
everything.
and then she's gonna pull something on us that we didn't expect. No, I was never gonna do that. That's what I was telling them. But then, we're not going to do it. Or so. I don't fucking, and she
Who you
becomes
lying
a
to?
good
Me?
guy.
Them? Who?
So then
What?
we go back and forth with his wife. Are they going to turn his wife as a character? I don't know. It's interesting and can add some depth there and some intrigue there. Or, does Cooper go along with it? It does seem like Cooper has been used his whole life. He's used as the Fallout Boy, used by this corporation, used by this industry.
If he knew the bombs were going to drop, he would absolutely not be doing a birthday party the day the bombs dropped with his daughter being.
That's another thing. Is I was like, wait, well, how is his daughter in there? Because we saw him on the horse riding, and it doesn't make sense. So she has to be a ghoul, and she has to be out in the wasteland. But that's where Hank found her pod, and that's why he's using it to manipulate him. So I think Hank doesn't have him, but I hope that he has something, because that just make everything easier, and you can wrap everything up in a tighter way. But that's probably not how it's going to go, because you want multiple seasons, season 3, season 4 for all these characters. Who knows? Okay, so we got that, but Cooper actually listens to the proposition and agrees essentially. And he shoots her with a sleep dart or whatnot, and she's passing tranquilizer. She's about to pass out. She's being resistant to it, probably because all of the drugs and the anti-drugs in her system. And she knocks him with that power fist that she stole. Flies out the window, gets impaled. Clearly, he's not dead. I mean,
at first I was like, "What?
That.
No!" I was like, "Oh wait, he's a ghoul."
Yeah, he's a ghoul.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh wait, he's just stuck there."
He's gonna lift himself off and spray himself down, and he's good. And I think he's probably has already done that. Maybe by the time, or maybe he's still on that pole when her father shows up, because she's passing out. Her father shows up.
I think he's still stuck because there ain't no way he's gonna take it. Hank isn't gonna take a chance.
Right.
He's like, all right, he's stuck. it's time
just
for me
take
to
him
go.
out because he was using him in order. He already agreed to take her back, but yeah, if he leaves that guy alive, that's going to be a problem. Well,
But
that's
we-
going to be a problem. We've seen it in the trailer.
It's gonna happen.
The
It's-
three people
we
walking
have-
together.
We need him.
We need
We
Maximus
need him.
to join the group, and they go after her. So now, guys, the princess is in another castle. The princess has been captured. Hank takes his daughter, and
Well, we
he's
know which
not
ca-
taking
well, we
her
don't
to her vault. He's probably taking her to his management
So
vault.
that's two princesses in one castle, right?
Which
'Cause
is-
it's two daughters now.
Maybe two daughters. Maybe
Maybe,
the daughters
but one
there,
maybe
or the
fake.
wife.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the vault appears, it does appear that these Deathclaws are guarding the vault or preventing people from getting near this management vault. So my question is, how the fuck is Hank controlling these Deathclaws?
He knows
or
his-
it just so happens that Deathclaws are there. How does Hank get around them? Because
Secret
I think
access
the vault
tunnel.
is under Lucky 31.
Yeah, for sure.
So how
Secret access tunnel.
okay, so he's not
That
actually
makes sense.
controlling the Deathclaws. He's just
just
using
letting
drop
them
meat
as
there
an
every now and then.
obstacle.
It's like a little moat.
Yeah,
But the
which me and
alligators
Joe
are-
agree. There's no fucking way that Deathclaw doesn't burst through that fucking thing easily. It's a little piece of
Metal sheet.
We saw
Sheet.
Deathclaw eating right in the middle of the scene,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
it's probably being fed.
They don't care. They just stay in that area or
Yeah.
they're feeding them. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now let's go with final verdicts, having discussed that.
For this one, I'm gonna go with the 7. I like the story. I like the flashbacks with House and Coop. The Lucy stuff I did like. I thought they were gonna play a little bit more with her drug addiction, but they kind of did here. Just like, I'm robbing the place. I just shot this guy. Who am I? This is not me. Then she does that and fixes herself. It does slow down a little bit when we get to Norm and then the roach farm ladies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that was just whatever. But overall, I think it's a good episode. We're moving forward with the main stuff that I'm interested in.
Yeah. I liked it a little more. I am disappointed by the beginning. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. As long as we get, at some point, a really good
Got to.
Deathclaw action segment, then everything at the beginning of this episode will be forgiven. If we don't, we'll retroactively go back and go, fuck this episode. This cannot be the only time we get Deathclaw stuff. Norm stuff, like I said, I'm not interested, still not interested, and like maybe we'll get there someday. But I love the stuff that was going on with Lucy. I loved her robbing the place and her shooting the guy. I do think we resolved it really quick. I would love another. I wanted a separate episode of her wandering the city before the whole Hank betrayal stuff. And I know we got limited time, but I think the whole video game stuff is really interesting. It was really working for me seeing her do more cowboy or the coop
Yeah, I
kind of
wanted to
stuff
see
where it's
more.
like she's robbing people and she had to defend
Dang it.
herself.
Yeah. The more transformation
Yes.
into
Yeah.
from a
And then
vault
later on,
And so we were just kind of going to the place where I wanted to go, and then we immediately halted because we had to get to the next major story point. But I did like the next major story point. I mean, that stuff's pretty interesting. So I still think it's a solid episode. I think we're about to get a slowdown though with what's coming next and the stuff we haven't hit.
Yeah.
I don't hate Maximus like I did in season 1, but I imagine we're gonna get a whole lot of Maximus and a whole lot of Vault 31 and yuck.
in their group.
Yeah. So yeah, 8.
Okay, well, I also think that about that same thing, basically, I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10. And I just noticed in this vault, I know you can't see it, but this says, congratulations, you're one of the chosen. You're moving to Vault 32. So I've been chosen to go to Vault 32. And then I was fucking around with it some more, and then I turned it off, and I said Vault 33. So I wonder if this is programmed with relation to the show. I don't know. Interesting. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. I think that the only thing is, so we had the grandmas come back, right? The store owners, a little convenient there. You got the rad roaches, like Alex was saying with the Vault-Tec. I'm wondering, this kind of weak love story here. We're trying to slow it down, trying to give some emotion and character tension. Oh, please don't let him die. But nobody really, as we said before, we don't really care about Norm. So, that stuff is interesting and, may go somewhere, especially with FEV. I hope Alex is wrong. I hope FEV is not just a fucking Easter egg. because I want it to tie in, because I love super mutants and mutations. I think that's very, very close to Fallout, and it would be great. So, but we'll see. So yeah, 8 out of 10. And we'll go into the breakdown, and then we'll also talk about, with a little bit more information now revealed, where do we think that this will end? We've got, since this is episode 5,
there's 8, right?
We've got I think 3 more. So what can we get done in 3 more? So
I don't think we can introduce super mutants in the last 3 episodes.
Right,
So I hope we tease and we do a full season with super mutants. Like season 3 super mutants would be sweet.
Okay, so initially the episode begins. Welcome to the breakdown. We've got these Deathclaws, and there's multiple Deathclaws. Thankfully, they seem a little blind. Their eyes are a little cloudy, and I think in the lore they might be blind. Somebody correct us. But that would be a shitty super weapon, so maybe they're just stupid or something, because he's like, run, and I was expecting these two to haul ass, because that's what I would do, but they run a little bit and then hide behind a car, and that's when we get the Deathclaw tearing into the roof, another Deathclaw eating something, getting distracted, so they don't
There are specific blind Deathclaws in New Vegas, so
in New Vegas they somehow got blinded, maybe.
They were just
Maybe they were looking at the nuclear explosions.
All right, take this one. Nope, this one's telling me. Help.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, I mean, some animals aren't motivated to hunt prey when there's food nearby, so maybe that.
Yeah. So Dogmeat finds a way out, goes under the gate, and everybody follows him, because I'm like, man, I want Dogmeat to do something. I want him to fight.
I don't want him to fight Deathclaws,
but not Deathclaws.
Keep him safe.
You need quite a few weapons, some upgraded weapons to get through that. But they would have burst through this door. Of course, it's a show, so the door just bangs around a little bit, and they're safe. They go to Freeside. He uses a grenade, by the way, as a distraction. Suddenly, he kind of reveals that he knows where his daughter and wife are, but relatively that they're in a management vault. So we get that reveal there. We also says Freeside, you gotta go. She's like, where are you going? He's like, I'm gonna go get fucked up. You go get a doll.
A dick doll.
Dick
doll.
Yeah, the dick doll.
Flushes.
Oh, the dick doll. That's right. And so that's what she does.
Not a dick doll.
That's what I saw. That's his southern accent. I was like, wait, a dick doll? Like a doll with a dick on it? What the fuck?
Cure your drugs.
A dick doll.
Cure your drug cravings.
That's what it sounds like.
Not
dick
fish
doll.
sticks.
Say it
fish
fast
dicks.
or slow.
Fish
a
dicks.
Dick doll. All right, so then he meets up with a bartender who is basically saying, look, trying to give us a little bit more on the ending of Fallout New Vegas. What is the canonical ending? Oh, it was the NCR, then it was the
Caesars.
This. I don't give a fuck who's in charge, whether it's robots or Deathclaws.
As long as I don't pay taxes.
As long as them lizards don't pay taxes. And Cooper's like, shut up. Stop talking. And then he's like, okay. Meanwhile, we go in the flashback. He calls his agent. The agent is essentially his contact to kill House. And Coop's a good guy. Can't do this. So he says, look, I'm going to do all this for you, but I'm not going to kill the guy.
It's like, but why? You already killed before. It's like, I was in uniform.
Then fuck you.
It's like,
Goes in
all
war.
of y'all the same.
It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So they go to a party. And, people are partying. The Congresswoman can't get in. She's getting thrown out. Coop feels sorry for her. And she's showing his softer side and still kind of believes in America. They had this really cool propaganda video that they were like, oh, well, the government's sitting on their hands doing nothing while the Reds are doing this shit. So all the businesses are getting together and all the corporate entities are going to figure this out for us. So
They're all going to Vegas.
That's what the party is, essentially. And then you hear people party goers talking in the background. We should run the government like a business. And it's like, yeah, that's what's happening, and doesn't always work out in the best way. But essentially, House enters the party and goes, "Oh, look at that! That's House. Wow, he's cool." And he comes over, and then he's like, "Mr. House, we'll see you now." So, this is not House. Revealed, not House. We go up to the.
This is one of the best lines in the whole episode where House
take over.
He's like, "You're here to kill." He's like, "I'm House." He's like, "From the fucking toilet."
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's just like, well,
We met in the fucking toilet. He's like, yeah.
I always
Sorry, I
thought
was
that-
curious. Wanted to meet you.
I always thought that was House too. I was like, this gotta be House.
well, I thought it was a house. I didn't know it was that specific house because they're two houses. So, but yeah, he's just the same one. So he's like, "Hey, I know you're here to kill me, but he pretty much just figured out that he's not there. He's not going to do it." And just kind of reveals it's like, "Hey, this is way deeper than you think. It's not me dropping the bombs. I don't even think it's your wife dropping the bombs. Someone else."
This is a big reveal because honestly, I was convinced that House did it because he had anti-missiles and he can make his area good. So in cooperation with Cooper's wife, they did it with Vault-Tec.
Yeah.
Nope,
He's claiming that he didn't, and so
I believe him.
he did it for protection. He doesn't know who it's coming from.
I actually may not be the house, and I think it's the most important thing about this, kind of like everything going forward, is someone else actually may be the house, and he's hinting towards this other potentially unknown entity because we may have seen.
Now, why does he want the cold fusion?
Missile defense system,
And
to live forever,
and
but
it'll
yeah,
make him live forever.
as a robot.
And he can turn his body into the thing. So, House in the TV kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, Bud can fucking figure it out. House can figure it out, and Bud's an idiot. And so, if there's a Robo Bud that lived for hundreds of years,
Maybe he's an idiot savant.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Bud is like.
Yeah.
He's a moron, but then not a moron.
yeah, maybe.
So, yeah, I thought this was interesting. Now, I was a little confused because when they open that thing, he opens up his little area
Yeah,
and brings Coop there. He already has the cold fusion.
without the fuel.
Okay,
It's
that's
the-
what it was.
it's the
'Cause I was
thing,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck? You got it already. You don't need to buy it. No. He's got everything ready.
It's a generator without the
just
gas.
he just needs the gas. Okay, cool. And what is he going to exchange for it? How is this going to be? Got to be the mind control stuff, right?
Yeah, but it's not weapons because he laughs it off and he's like, "You're going to sell them weapons," and he just says no.
No.
So,
But it can be used as a weapon, this mind control stuff. So I definitely
yeah.
think that's
or the
exchange.
bombs, yeah, not
the
bombs.
little
Chips.
Chips. All right. Meanwhile, that's when we get to Chicken Fucker. Lucky Be a Lady Tonight. Good song. I mean, this series has been picking bangers and appropriate songs. Definitely the Vegas vibe. This is why I think this season is better than the last season. The Vegas vibe just does it for me, and theming. Way better. So I'm curious if we move on from Vegas, or we're gonna stay in this area in season 3 and season 4.
We're gonna go to Appalachia
or
to
we're gonna
Vault
go somewhere else.
76.
Now that would be really, really fucking cool. Is if we not 76, but other areas of
West
the
Virginia,
lore that we didn't
like a
explore.
song.
Texas is there a Brotherhood faction?
Song's not
in
about West
Texas?
Virginia.
I know.
So, but yeah.
Find it out.
Okay, so meanwhile, he's he's gonna sell his wares to Vegas, but he gets immediately. Oh, and he's
Goes on a
gonna
date.
he's got a robot date. Again, straight from the games. The robot speaks the exact lines from the games, but before he can have some robot on robot or human on robot relations. And Hank is there, and he's like, "Look, if you want to watch, that's fine.
Do it
but
from the bushes like a civilized pervert.
Yes.
funny lines
Boink
here,
with the
but
fucking
knocks him out.
crowbar.
That's when we get the fact that he can withstand it, and he becomes his assistant or his underling, basically mind slave.
Yeah, a nice little tease. He's just cranking it up. He's like, "How would you like to forget everything?" He's like, "Yes."
Yeah,
And he's like
sounds
cranking
great.
it up, cranking it up. He's like, "Oh, going crazy." Then when he gets to the louder stuff, it starts panning away. He's like,
Like his head's
he's gonna
gonna
fucking
explode.
die. He's like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
it worked."
It worked. And hopefully they'll reveal why that is and how that happens. I think in one of the trailers we've seen, a bunch of workers like passing papers within the management vault. We still haven't seen that in the show. So whether that's a flashback scene to when the management vault was working at high capacity, or if it's now I'm starting to think, okay, he's got the shit to work. Maybe he starts to get, people in the wasteland to become his slave army, the new vaulters, where he can control them. So that'd be interesting, too, to see come to fruition. Meanwhile, we do see Janie, Howard's tube, so the daughter. Where's Barb, though? There was no Barb tube, at least not in the same room or whatever. Yeah. But, the reveals were going crazy. And the happenstance is a little crazy, too, because, he meets up with the chicken fucker guy. The same old lady shows up. This is my squat. Get out of here. Because all the vaulters show up, and they're at the Vault-Tec building.
More vault dwellers.
And somebody's like, craft a weapon. And then,
he grabs a fan. He always grabs those fans.
Yeah, because it's for parts and shit. And anyways, but there's a roach farm apparently here, so I'm curious if that's going to factor in, if these vaulters are going to get attacked by this roach farm. And
I think they're done with that. They left.
It could be a distraction for how Norm is going to get out of his predicament. Maybe. Norm and Claudia, who are now in love or having feelings for each other, maybe she's
got to be doing something. There's something about her because she's like, "Oh, I've only been here a week."
She just feels like an
outsider. Do you think she's lying?
Yeah,
I think she might be lying. I don't think she's lying because the way the camera shows, Ronnie is hiding in the shadows from her coming out. If she was a part of the whole thing, then he wouldn't need to hide in the shadows. So I don't think she's lying. I think it's just kind of poorly done where there's no chemistry there, and that's why it feels hollow, because it is hollow. All right, and then when we get Lucy pulls a video game classic, goes in through the back.
The new owner upcharged everything. Instead of $125, it's $1,000.
Asshole.
For what she needed.
Yeah.
So she's like, fuck this.
Fuck you.
I'm going to go steal.
Mm-hmm. Good, because that's one of the more fun parts in the game is stealing. But again, the contrivances and the conveniences. What happens? Oh, well, it just so happened that this place was already being robbed by somebody else. God damn it. So some fat
she
guy
goes in there, she steals the drugs, and she sees the power fist. There's like $10,000 caps. Then she steals that. She gets kind of caught on her way out. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, nothing." And then she looks up. It's like, "Are
you don't look like that guy.
Are you? Was it Sonny?" It's like, yeah, that's me." It's like, so it's not this guy in the barrel here.
His balls out.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, well, and he's naked. Are you not wearing his clothes? It's like, yeah, naked people rob the place all the time. She grabs for a gun. She knows what's going on.
She says, "I'm going to maim you." And then she misses.
Don't do it.
She manages to outgun him. And then some lady walks in. "Who are you?" And then she goes, "I don't know," because now she's turning into somebody. And then she doesn't know. But I'm with Alex. Yeah, I want to see more of this stuff.
Yeah.
I want another episode of this. But it looks like it's being condensed because we got 8 episode fucking seasons instead of 12 episodes.
And all the drugs are gone.
I'll be happy with 12 episodes.
Yeah,
season.
so we don't have any like drug fallout that we suffer.
That gets cured.
Well, it's like that part is really working for me. So naturally, I want more of that, and naturally, it makes me more mad at fucking Norm.
Right.
Norm's wasting my goddamn time.
God damn it, Norm. And then, so then we get the scene where he explains all the cold fusion exchange and keeping them alive, and he's not quite sure who will drop the bombs. He doesn't know how Cooper factors in, but he definitely factors in some way. Their family is an important part of this. Who's out there? I think it's the Enclave. I don't think it's Cooper hitting the button because, no, nothing like that. I think the Enclave wanted to, I don't know, have power. This is all their plan. I'm wondering if by the end in episode 8 they're going to give us the plan.
I don't know if they can
clarify
introduce a completely new faction.
Right. I mean, that's why I think it's the Enclave.
Well, the Enclave is one that ends up with cold fusion. They end up with all the stuff. So
for those of you out there who are like, no, I don't want it to be the Enclave. I want it to be somebody else. I think that it's all coming together, and it's like incorporating all the lore that we know. We don't need to do something super crazy. And plus, Bethesda's over here trying to protect the lore, or you would hope that they, want.
Someone spoiled. We did a news story, right, where they officially spoiled how it originally happened. Where it was like the Chinese were doing super soldiers stuff, and then we dropped the bombs.
One of the writers had a.
And so, like, we dropped the first bombs. I mean, we don't know like who we is, but like our faction, someone within our faction was the first.
So it could be that the Enclave was creating the Deathclaws, unleashed the Deathclaws on the Chinese, and then because the Enclave was fucking around with the FEV and the Deathclaws, that's why China launched the nukes, and then we launched back. So something like that. Something simple, something that
they can change stuff. Yeah.
All right. But House does scream, maybe it's you. You're a killer, and fucks Coop up, and he starts drinking heavily.
Man does not know how to drink. He's just dumping it all over his goddamn face.
Yeah. Then we get, let's see, what else? We get the puppy, the cat, the love interest tries to, slows down.
Just trying to skip over. Let's go next. Yeah.
Ronnie chokes him out because he overhears this stuff.
You're fake.
I was like, Norm has no chance to, I was like you, I thought that the two of them together can take Ronnie, but not Norm. And she never shows up, so he gets knocked out, and I guess he'll wake up next episode. But I do think next episode is going to be, we're going to go back to Maximus, and what's another subplot?
The water. We have no water.
Yes,
and,
the other vault.
And the group.
The party.
Yeah, the incest people.
The incest people. That's, again.
Compelling.
There's 2 vault storylines, and one of them, to me, is getting good with the FEV, hopefully. But the other one, I'm with you 100% on that. Not interested. Don't care. The only small hope is the blonde chick that she ties in.
It's Canadian.
FEV. She's old. And then, so, let's see. We get the threat to Cooper's wife and daughter, and, of course, family is the funny thing he says. So he chooses his family.
He said, and the ghoul says, well, I was brought here to bargain with, so this is the bargain. And then shoots her with a train.
It's an interesting bargain, though, because it's not the release of his daughter, it's not the release of his wife. It's, I literally won't kill your wife and daughter, and then you do. And so Coop gets nothing out of this deal. He actually... all the fallout since the beginning.
I don't think that this is Coop's end game. I think he's temporarily putting a Band-Aid on it, and then he's going to fuck shit up.
It gives him some hope, though. It's like, so he does have them. It gives him a little bit of hope that
he knows,
they are there.
And then he can follow the dude. He can follow the dude back.
He doesn't necessarily need fucking Lucy to continue his quest.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, well, now I know where she's at, and then sure, for now, go.
But she says, I thought we were friends.
And maybe, he could wake up and just be like, Lucy, you're dumb. I was just putting on a show, and we're going to go together and apologize, and we'll do this thing.
Well, they can't go together now. Yeah, Hank got her.
I think that he did end up betraying her, but he's going to realize he fucked up. And then, apologize.
You think he would betray her for nothing?
I think he would betray her as a temporary Band-Aid. It's not for nothing, because me and Joe also think that he was going to go back and follow the guy back to the vault.
Yeah, because he's already done it with the Legion.
Back to Lucy.
He's like, he did that with Legion. He went to go get her and save her. And
exactly.
Like,
he wouldn't have
and help the NPC.
Well, he would have, because he needed her, and this is what he needed her for, to get closer to his wife. Yeah. Well, we'll see. But then we do get the Cooper we need to talk. So definitely next episode, while I'm sure we will get Maximus and all that and the water crisis, we're definitely going to get the talk between the wife and the husband, Cooper and Barb. And that's going to be super interesting, because is there going to be a twist there, or is she just going to be super evil? And yes, I was going to drop the bombs, but somebody dropped the bombs before she was able to. The Enclave. I don't know.
He clearly takes the kid, and so he's like, I'm leaving, I'm taking the kid.
They work together.
If you approach me, I will tell the entire world everything.
So maybe there is no twist coming.
Drives her to the point of insanity, and she's like, you know what, fuck it. We're going to, I'm going to capture my daughter from you, and we're going to do all the things we wanted to do.
Yeah, with Hank.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it. Now, I did promise one thing, where we think this is going to go. So we got 3 episodes left. So here's one. I'm going to throw ideas out. I'm going to rapid fire ideas. Hank is not the final boss. Barb is the final boss. Oh, that probably won't be this season. They can save that for a future season, right? Because they did show Hank like, what can I do? Oh, I'm getting power, man. And she's like, all right, shut up. She's the one in charge. So that's one thing. Hank, I think, does get an army of followers with the mind control. And they all come back together. We've seen that in the trailer. So you got Maximus, the cowboy, and Lucy. Well, wait, no, they have to free Lucy first. Because Lucy's captured.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to go over there,
Maximus
save him.
and Coop will go rescue
You
Lucy.
think just Maximus and Coop? I don't think they team up. I don't think
I
they
think
have
they
a
do team
reason
up.
to come together without
He's
Lucy.
in love.
Lucy,
He's
yeah.
in love with Lucy.
So it's like,
So
that's right.
he's got the
Yeah,
power,
yeah, yeah.
the power armor. He's got to go defeat some
and
of
he's
the
got cold
Deathclaws.
fusion. I mean, he's walking around with the most important thing in the
Right,
entire.
right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with
so
that.
They
though.
all those characters, because I thought there were 3 characters walking, and I thought one of them was Lucy, but maybe that wasn't Lucy. It was somebody else. I'm misremembering
the other guy that was there was
Yeah, the
Thaddeus
ghoul.
or something.
Thaddeus,
the ghoul.
yeah.
Because Maximus ends up with NCR armor. I don't know how he gets NCR armor. It looks like.
Well, when they both run off, Thaddeus had the armor, so I'm assuming he just took Thaddeus's armor.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not Brotherhood armor. It's NCR armor
Oh,
because it's got a different face
Maybe
plate.
he Thaddeus keeps the Brotherhood armor for some reason, and
We'll see.
yeah.
but yeah, I do agree. Hank is not the final boss, but he does want that
For
power
season 2?
struggle. Yeah, I don't think he is, but he does want the power struggle, so he makes his own.
Do you think
army
it's
or
just
something.
saving Lucy? Lucy's free. Episode ends. Hank runs away again.
I hope not.
Hank has to be killed by the end, right? Because Hank ran away in the first season. You have Hank run away in the second season. You're going to piss people off.
I think they resolve Hank, but
Okay.
it is revealed that there is someone higher than Hank, and I
Okay.
don't think the ghoul gets his family back this season.
But he gets close, and it's like, here's where your family
He goes
was.
there looking to save his daughter, but instead, and then he also saves Lucy. Finds out that his daughter isn't there. They get some clues, and then she agrees
Princess
that,
is in another castle.
that for him, the princess is another castle. And then him and Lucy were like, "Hey, let's go find your family." And then that season 3 happens.
Right,
Will
because
it
she
be-
was finding her family this season, then Coop would find his family next season, even though they're both looking for
So
their family.
hey, don't say family too many
No
times.
family.
No.
That's something.
Season 3, we get a special
Vin
guest.
Diesel shows up.
I heard of you want family.
Do you think it would be too much
be
if
super
Coop
mutant.
was looking for his family in season 3? It's like
Yes.
we're looking for family.
That's
too
what I
much.
was. Yeah, I think that's too much.
Okay.
That's too much.
Isn't what all the Fallout movies just about fucking
Yes.
finding family?
Come on,
So-
Joe. Every game is about finding your dad or your.
Yeah,
it's
but
just,
like you
give me
want
back my son. Give me back my son.
you would still want something different.
Yeah, no. So I think it could still be family searching, but it could have to do with the Enclave is revealed, and the Enclave is about to do something crazy, so they have to go stop. The
But what if
Enclave.
it's finding your family to kill them? Like the Coop's like, I have to go murder my wife.
Oh, I have to take my wife.
I found out that the wife did
Oh,
So
something.
that's what we're doing.
Oh,
with Hank.
maybe Barb is at the Enclave base. She's somehow allied with the Enclave. I don't fucking know how that would happen. That was some
Well,
argument.
Lucy was gonna
when
go
they
kill her
had that talk.
dad, but
Joe, are you wearing a Guyver hoodie? What is that?
it's Darth Vader.
Oh, it's Darth Vader. I thought it was.
No.
I thought it was a. You're looking at him head on, not profile, or is he profile?
Profile.
He's profile. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought it was a. What do you call that? A fin. That's
No.
a Guyver fin. No, it's just a lighting effect. All right, cool. Well, all right, yeah. So that's what I think is that the confrontation is the final episode with Hank, and we
Lucy
will
kills
resolve
Hank.
She kills her father. You don't think it's the cowboy?
That's what she wanted to do.
Or maybe
And they were like-
Maximus because he's got
He
to
says,
solidify
like, hey,
himself as
if
his
we
goal.
find your dad, you're gonna shoot him in the leg, have me do it. No,
I mean,
Lucy has to do it.
But Maximus's whole family died in Shady Oaks. With the nuclear bomb.
Who would you
He
rather?
only survived in a
from those
refrigerator.
two, from those two, who would you want?
Yeah, I don't care about Maximus.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Has to be
Yeah,
Lucy.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then season.
What's the season 3 tease?
Barb.
Barb and Enclave. Yep.
It's gonna be
Super mutants. So
Maximus.
I think because we only have
grandparents.
3 episodes, we can't do super
Super
mutants.
Mutants.
They can't jam in super mutants now, but they could save that for Enclave FEV season.
And
3.
so Norm will be completely useless for the first 2 seasons. But season 3, they promise he will be important because he will discover super mutants. And then I'll be excited.
maybe Norm and his sister together now.
The new love interest.
Yes. The Adventures of Norm and
no,
What's Her
please,
Face.
no, please.
She's
No,
gonna
please,
come back
no.
with drinks. Norm, what
No,
happened?
please, no.
She's coming back with drinks.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Tell us what you think and how it's going to resolve, and we'll see who gets closest, okay? And we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.